Number 7.
Listen, the smart bet, take the Houston Texans to win their division again. They added David Montgomery, the running back. I think that is a sneaky addition. So David Montgomery and Woody Marks, that is a above average running back tandem, and they couldn't produce consistent run totals last year. Yeah, it's worrisome that CJ Stroud has regressed, but they're still winning their division. AFC South, they're favored to win it for a fourth year. They won 12 games last year. I think they'll be around that this coming year.
No.
Well, their O-line hasn't been good enough. So, you can get all the running backs you want and your O-line needs to be better. I mean, quite frankly, Saquon Barkley has proven that when you give someone like Saquon Barkley a great O-line, he is spectacular. And when your O-line isn't good enough, no matter how spectacular you are and no matter how brilliant you are, it's not going to quite look the same. And then same thing with quarterback play. We get example after example after example of this. Now CJ Stroud absolutely positively needs to be better, and he needs to understand how to manage games better. And he did a terrible job in the playoffs of managing a game when things were getting a little crazy and a little kooky. He did a terrible job at it. And now make no mistake about it. Like, that's game management. That's what that is. When things are going poorly and things aren't working, working according to plan, he, Snorts, was making them worse. No matter how bad the O-line is, no matter how bad the receivers are, the run game, he was making it worse. And so sometimes you need a quarterback to be able to overcome that individual game adversity. And other times you need a quarterback that just minimizes the damage. And a lot of times minimizing the damage is now just going to be game management and just don't make things worse. That's something that Tom Brady did so well that Bill Bitch talked about, that it was just like he never made things worse. And sometimes making things better and overcoming that is actually just getting a 2-yard, 3-yard gain. Just a check down for a quick catch and then a tackle. It's not the, oh man, I gotta make something big happen here. And it's something that a lot of quarterbacks seem to struggle to accept, even quarterbacks that I have, all the respect for in the world, like the Josh Allens of the world. But it is something that a backup quarterback can often kind of get settled in, which is what we saw out of the Houston Texans when CJ Stroud got injured or concussed, right? It was concussion, I think. So, I forget now. Pretty sure it's a concussion. And so sometimes you want to take a page out of that book. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, you can learn. So, this defense should still be so elite, so, Snorts, awesome. And if you can improve the quality of the O-line, then yeah, the run game will be even better. Obviously, that's just basic 1 + 1 = 2 at that point, which then also should give you a more stable CJ Stroud. But I do want to see CJ Stroud evolve. And then this is where it's interesting for me, because I'm a huge believer in CJ. I've said this a million times and I'm not abandoning him. I'm just not ready to do that in this moment of time. But I'm more inclined, I would be more impressed and would be more excited about seeing CJ manage games better rather than seeing more of the highs that we had seen from years, in especially his rookie season. More than anything. I'd be more excited about that, of just getting the feeling of like, okay, he's getting it more now. He understands what you need to do just to elevate your floor rather than constantly trying to elevate your ceiling. And it's just like that matters more to me right now with CJ and how this offense operates. I mean, I think that always matters, but it especially matters when you have such an elite defense. Such, Snorts, an elite defense. Sam Darnold was not spectac. He did not show you his ceiling in the Super Bowl. He needed to show you the ceiling in the NFC Championship game, but in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots, the same team that the Texans played, he did not show you his ceiling at all. At all, but he showed you that he elevated his floor, and that directly led to a Super Bowl win. If CJ Stroud had a floor that was elevated rather than his ceiling, then there's an amazing argument to make that they beat the New England Patriots. That they beat the New England Patriots, and then who knows, then you're in a situation where you're playing Jared Stidham, but I don't know, maybe the whole butterfly effect. I forget which game happened for, I guess yeah, that game happened first, right? Yeah, it was that game happened first. Maybe that changes, maybe Bo Nix now sees that, and because of that he decides to walk slightly to the left instead of slightly to the right. Now his ankle doesn't break. I don't know. That's some multiverse stuff right there. But in all seriousness, it changes the trajectory. If the floor is just elevated, the Texans are potentially in a significantly different situation. So when you talk about regression or this or that, it's just like to me with the Texans, it's just elevate the floor. Which is interesting because when Harbaugh got hired by the New York Giants, my mindset automatically went to this is a good move and this is a stabilizing move. And so I think it's a good move, a successful one, but I'm this isn't the move that for me that I think okay, he's going to usher in this time right now, you're going to win Super Bowls and blah 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 blah. I'm it raises your floor. You're no longer going to just look like a laughing stock of a team or just go from a situation where it's just are we going to make the playoffs or are we going to be dead last and drafting first? And in a lot of ways, you could be well, that's good enough right now. And on another side, I'm kind of I don't know, you got a rookie quarterback, rookie quarterback contract. A lot of energy, a lot of hype. Kind of want to see what a coach can do where the ceiling can be risen in that regard. I would be more interested in that quite frankly, because then I feel you could win a Super Bowl rather than just being a team that's hey, yeah, we're really good. We're tough out, rather see what you could do on, further down that line and be great, be special. And a team with the Texans, especially just because of how special and how elite that defense is and Demo is as a coach, it's just yeah, just give me the floor elevated. And then you are an elite Super Bowl contender. You are right there. You don't need the ceiling to be elevated. Obviously, having your ceiling elevated is always great, but the Texans actually don't need that. Think about when they finally turned things around and were able to kind of get some momentum going last season. It felt they're wow, okay, we can do this. Again, it wasn't their ceiling. It was not their ceiling. Their floor just got elevated. Their floor just got elevated. That's all that mattered in that moment of time. And so that is, such a strong way that I'm going to look at the Houston Texans, and CJ is just can you just raise the floor? So you can get lost in the whole as Colin said, oh, CJ has regressed in this or that. And it's just I just want to see the floor elevate. That's it. I don't need to see CJ on a single highlight reel. I don't need CJ to be in a single MVP conversation. I don't need to see CJ in a single who would you rather have, Baker or CJ? It's I don't need any of that. Just elevate your floor and you have an elite top team regardless of some of the issues with a line, inconsistent run game, blah 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 blah. So, that's what I'm interested to see. I'd say, yeah, I was going to talk more about some of these other moments, but I think it's probably best just to leave it there because yeah, the Texans have been a bit of a frustrating team over these last couple of years because I just believe listen, 2 years ago they've really got hurt with injuries, but I just know that the potential is there and they just can't seem to quite bring it home. It's almost like what the Dallas Cowboys were when they had Mike McCarthy and they had all those 12 seasons. Just this team is pretty good. They're not bad obviously, but they just Jerry Jones couldn't do that just one extra move to finally bring it home just to hire that right coach or get that right player in free agency. There was an opportunity that the Cowboys could have gotten Derrick Henry the first thing in either 2022 or 2023 and that could have fundamentally changed the whole. We've seen what Derrick Henry has now done these last couple of years could have completely changed the trajectory of the Dallas. So, it's just that one extra move. And I'm not saying that there's a concrete move for the Houston Texans to make that they're not making, but they just feel that you're just this one extra click away from just bringing it all home. And maybe it is O-line, maybe it is the development of CJ Stroud or just quarterback play in general. You know, I don't know. And that's what can be kind of frustrating. And that's why right now I'm just raise the floor. Just raise the floor. It's all you got to do. Raise the floor. Everyone always talk about raising the roof. Just raise the floor and you're good. You are good to go. So, I'm curious how you guys all feel about the Houston Texans in this moment of time. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, you agree with me or disagree with me? Either way, let's get some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.